What is up, YouTube? We are back for another podcast episode. This time I wanted to do things a little bit different, so I came up with some questions. It's going to be more along the lines of just like a casual, funny conversation as opposed to like serious, crazy topics. But I thought it'd be really entertaining, so hopefully you enjoy. But we'll kick it off. So the first thing I want to know, because I was thinking about it today after we had a conversation about being at Crunch and like how it's like the bottom of the barrel for Crunch gyms.
Yeah.
And
probably Windsor gyms.
Probably. And I was just thinking like, well, what is like the nicest gym that you've trained in?
So I have a couple nicest gym in terms of facility.
Like just
its time.
Just your favorite gym that you worked out in. Whether it was like super fancy and...
So for me, it's the gym at the college in Ottawa. So the Algonquin College gym.
Yeah.
But at the time, there were no like fancy hip thrust machines. Like, that's something that I do have another gym I really liked working out at because it had all those new fancy machines. But it was like such a small gym with like an old people vibe. And I'm like super ego motivated.
Yeah.
And like the more fit people around me, the heavier I'm going to be able to lift.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous.
Definitely Algonquin. Part of me isn't sure if it's like the gym or just that time of our lives.
Yeah.
But that's my answer.
Here's my thing with Algonquin. So like I was thinking like what was like the best place I trained at. And I thought about Ottawa. I was like, oh well, like the Algonquin gym was really nice. But at the same time, like I feel like at that point in time, I didn't really know what I was doing. Like it's still like I didn't have the same understanding that I have now. So like I honestly can't remember really what machines were in that gym to begin with. Like they could have had some really sweet machines, and I feel like I was just doing like very basic things. Like it was literally like squats and bench.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like if I went back there today, I have no idea how I would feel about it.
So
I didn't know what I was doing in the gym at that time, like whatsoever.
So like I can't even say Algonquin because I don't remember. Like literally, like the only thing I remember is like the Smith machine there, because that's where we would like that's where we would like bench and stuff. We would just bench in the Smith machine because like I was just uncomfortable to do free weight stuff.
I don't know why, but I remember that, like, I could probably write you out a map of that gym.
Yeah, and you're probably wrong.
No, do you remember right next to the Smith machine, they had that rope thing?
Yeah. Okay. I had forgot that existed.
So we did used to free weight bench there.
Did you?
Because I remember they had like benches back to back and side by side. There were like 4 benches. I think 2 of them were flat and 2 were incline or something. And they were like way in like the back far corner. Because that gym had like a really weird floor plan. Do you remember there were like... Do you remember the amount of captain's chair knee raises, leg raises we did there?
No.
God. Okay, so I have a way better memory about like way better picture.
So like no.
I know what your answer is going to be.
What?
The Long Laugh Gym.
For sure.
I know.
For sure. Just because it was like there was nobody ever there.
Yeah.
You could literally, and it had like the basics. And the funny thing is like at the time I remember saying at one point, like, man, I'm in really good shape and like my physique looks really good. But imagine going back to the city and training in a gym with like machines and stuff, because there weren't that many machines.
Yeah,
like a
that's
lot of
true.
the machines were like old
I
and they
remember
weren't
that.
as smooth. So like they didn't offer the same like leverage and resistance.
Yeah.
That like they just were just very uncomfortably smooth. Like when you get on a hack squat and it's just like, or like the like the hack squat or like the slide machine where like you would squat like
Oh,
on like almost like a decline.
Yeah.
But like I just remember like grinding that because it was just so like it was just not smooth. But yeah, then we came back to the city and like
I remember
Long Lac was definitely the most
we
in shape
had
I've ever
the
been.
same conversation about food.
Yeah.
And like groceries. Like if we had better grocery stores, we would be in way better health, whatever.
Yeah. It would have made it easier
to eat.
Like because we were like I feel like I was tracking my food like 2/3 of the time we lived there.
Well, we only lived there for 3 years. I know.
And like I feel like 2 out of the 3 years, like I feel like I was like in tracking mode and was just like dialed in. And so like at that point it was like, oh, if we could go to the grocery store and actually get like fresh produce or like get these ingredients that like are more of like diet friendly things, like low calorie things that like they just didn't carry. What we didn't take into account was the convenience of of like fast food and the like variety of like restaurants, because we would go to like we would get pizzeria
but
fairly
the
frequent,
same thing.
but like it was always the same thing, and then like that was it, so like and it was once a week, if that,
yeah, for sure,
right? Like it wasn't always. So like those were huge factors in that. But I think the only reason why I associate it with like being the best gym is because that's when I was in my best shape.
And me too.
Yeah. So
like I was in my best shape in Long Lac.
So I just feel like, oh man, like that gym just allowed me to just focus my energy and stuff. But it was like, it was so different. Like if we went back there now, it wouldn't be the same as what it was.
No.
Like,
so I'll give the Long Lac gym one thing. It is the only gym I've worked out at so far in my life that has a deadlift platform. It was a shitty one.
You're welcome.
But yeah, that's the only gym I've worked out at that has a deadlift platform. It wasn't like the nice one with like the wooden floor in the middle.
Come on. It had like the nice mats and it was contained and it had like your band attachments, which is just nice. It's perfect.
Okay, next question. I'm sticking to my answer.
Okay. Yeah, so mine would be Long Lac for sure. I hate Crunch. I think Crunch is garbage.
I don't mind it, but I go with the 5 a.m.
Honestly,
crowd.
if I went to Crunch and there was the same amount of traffic as there was in the Long Lac gym, I'm sure I'd feel a totally different way. But like, also like, can't go into Crunch without getting your hands dirty. Like literally just like black. Yeah. Like that's not right.
It's not because they're known for being like a, grungy garage type gym. No, or
like it's just filthy. Like it's just filthy.
Okay, next question.
So next question is, what is the weirdest thing that you've seen in the gym?
Oh, I can't think of anything like super specific, but it would probably be people grunting, like today.
Like that guy.
Like today, like heard it through my Beats headphones.
Scared the crap out of me. I had turned so quick because I thought he like hurt himself. Yeah. Like legit, like it was like it wasn't a normal grunt. It wasn't like it was just like It was like a scream.
Like a lengthy scream.
Yeah.
Like 3 seconds is a long time to grunt.
And it's like, do your thing, whatever helps you push through. But like, yeah, it was very loud, and it was definitely because we were in the exercise, like the group
yoga
classroom.
Yeah.
And like the acoustics were just like
perfect,
echoey, and and like the doors were closed. Like there was just so much that went into it. But like, yeah, he literally like. I just heard it, and like I had the whole time we were working out, like I had my headphones and like one ear off, but like I was listening to my book like the whole time, and like when that happened, I was just like, oh my god, like, instant like fight or flight. It was just like and then I realized what was happening, and I was like, oh, he's just
stretching.
He's
side bends.
He's doing side bends. Like he's just pushing through the burn right now. But like
aside from that, it would probably be people, I don't know, like stretching weird. Like we like doing like warm-ups that just don't look like they actually are beneficial.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like I've never witnessed any of those like crazy ridiculous things you see on like gym fails on YouTube and stuff.
No. Well, like, so one thing recent that happened to me was that kid that kept failing on his bench.
Yeah.
Like that was super weird to me, because it, like, honestly, after I failed the first time, like unless I feel like, oh, I almost had that.
Yeah.
Like I could, if I just like rest for 3 to 5 minutes and try this again, I'm gonna hit it.
Yeah.
But like to like completely just fail it, and like he failed the bench, and he just like
bailed his weight.
He just bailed his weights on one side and then threw him off the other. It's just like wild that he like put those exact same weights back on and tried again and also failed. And it's like ask for a spotter.
Yeah.
You know, like ask for a spotter, or like lower your weight.
Yeah.
Cause like it was just, to me, like I just remember like I was mid-set when I noticed that he had failed the first time, and he'd already bailed the weights off the one side.
Yeah.
So it was like all on one side. So he was safe, and he was just like getting up.
Yeah.
But the second time I was also mid-set, but I was paying more attention because I was like, he didn't take weight off there. And it looks like he's setting up again. And then he like started, and I like zoned out into my set because I'm pretty sure I was doing leg presses, so my back was actually turned to him, but I was kind of just like glancing over just to like make sure that he was gonna be okay. And then he just like, all of a sudden I looked back over, and he had bailed the weights off one side again, and he had it stuck, and I was like, what the heck is going on? And he just like, and then he just gave up. Like, then he just stopped. He didn't do it at all the rest of the time. And then he went to the squat rack, and he failed again.
On
squats. He switched to squats, and he failed.
I wonder if he was testing his 1 rep max or something on all his lifts.
Maybe, but like he was not doing it well. Like, it was just dangerous. And like with the squat, I remember I was like across the gym, and I was doing an exercise that was facing that way, so I could perfectly see him, and he like got it, like, you know, like you hit parallel, and then you start coming back up, and there's just that sticking point. He had gotten stuck in there, and he just like went forward and racked it, and he racked it crooked. So I was like, what the heck? And then the plate started falling off one side of the thing, and he like grabbed the bar because it would have just threw it over. And I was just like, that was one of the most bizarre things that I've ever seen, because it was just like, made no sense.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else weird. Like, I can think of things I've seen on the internet, but I can't think of anything that bizarre. Things that annoy me is a different story, but
You got like the usual things, like the old guys that just stand there drying their balls.
no.
Like, totally naked at every single gym. There's gotta be like, luckily like Crunch is nice because like there's your lockers, and then like you have to like go it like go around, and
Oh
then
yeah,
there's like
ours too.
there's the showers and stuff. So like you'll see every once in a while like a naked doodle just come walking by, but like some gyms it's just like literally you just think they spend all day in there just like trimming their pubes and drying their balls. Like
I don't have that problem.
just like
thank God.
just the weirdest thing, and like it's been since childhood. Like it still traumatizes me and my brothers. Like we all know, like we all remember going to Canada Games Complex and going into that locker room, because I feel like that was our first real exposure to like giant change rooms, because like in Geraldton
yeah.
there was no population. Like what were you doing? Like we were like mostly the only kids that like
were pool.
constantly at the pool or whatever. So like there's that, but like then we went there and it was like, whoa, they're just everywhere, and they're just having full conversations with their just like their knee up on the counter, and like
okay, no more visuals.
the dryer just like it just made no sense, and it's just like, why are you doing this? So there's like weird stuff like that. But I remember specifically one time seeing a guy. He was in the squat rack, and he had the trap bar, so like the hex bar.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually for deadlifts, right?
Yeah.
Like deadlifts or like some sort of like
rack pull, maybe.
Like
farmer walk.
Yeah, or like an isometric, just like hold. But he had that thing, and he had it upside down. So you know how like on some it's just a flat thing, but some have like a handle built into them, so it reduces your like range of motion. He had it upside down, and he had weight on each side, and he would get under it, and
like
he would
the
do
log press,
and he would do shoulder presses. And I remember at the time being like, why is that guy doing that? Like that's not meant for that. And then like now I look back on it and I'm just like, man, like that dude was pretty strong to be able to freaking press that. Because like I feel like I remember he had like a solid like 45 on each side, and it's like trap bar is like wide, right? So like you're pressing that up, like, and
your grip is like this way.
Yeah, so you gotta keep like that strong wrist, because like because it's a neutral grip. It's not like a pronated or a supinated grip. So
weird.
Yeah, but that was like that moment always sticks out in my head as like a weird gym experience too.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Different for sure.
Yeah. I don't know why that stands out in my head, but that's why I came up with these questions. I was just like thinking today, and I was just like, oh, like this was a weird scenario where like I missed this about this. But so you have no more weird people?
I don't think so.
Weird things?
No.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna be looking for weird shit in the gym constantly.
I mean, like people are always doing weird stuff. But
yeah.
I always just look at it as like, they're at the gym, you know, as long as they don't hurt themselves, which they might sometimes, but you know, they're trying to do the right thing. They just don't know. All right. So the last question. What is something, so person, place, thing, just something that you can always like, either like you're thinking about it, or like if you watch it or if you hear it, it always like motivates you, like it gets you into that like, oh, I need to do some grinding, I need to like hustle right now because I'm so full of motivation.
So I feel like you're gonna have something really deep, and
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Okay, so for me, music. There's certain types of music I can listen to,
Yeah.
and if I have it loud enough, I can do anything.
Yeah.
Like I can get anything done as efficiently and effectively as possible if I like crank the right music. But there's also like certain YouTube lifters that I watch that like I can watch them lift the same exercises within 3 pounds of their last lift for years. And I never get bored of it. And it motivates the crap out of me. And then there's a movie in particular, which is like my all-time favorite movie, that motivates me. And it's definitely because of the people in the movie. So, Step Up.
Yeah.
100%. They're dancers.
Yeah.
So they have like dancer figures. And I don't know why. It could be the music in the movie, maybe. But that just... Those are like my 3 things. What are yours?
Honestly, like anything like fight related.
Yeah.
Always just pumps me up, puts me in that mood to just like train. Like I just want to start training. Like get going. Yeah, and then I would say like there's there's certain people on YouTube that I could always watch, and they're just like I'm like, damn, I need to put in some work here, like Chris Bumstead.
Okay, the literal best in the world.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But like, you know, like I don't need to be the next Chris Bumstead. I just like it just makes me like want to work hard because it's like, damn, he's hustling and like crushing it. Yeah. So like YouTube, Chris Bumstead. I don't really know who else on YouTube I really follow right now that like I think like amps me up. Who are you gonna say?
I was gonna say Christian.
Christian doesn't post on YouTube anymore.
I know.
Like, yeah,
but
when
like,
he's posting for summer shredding, it's
Will
like
Tennyson.
See, like he doesn't pump me up. Like he is way more like entertainment than like anything else. Like I just think he's a funny guy. Magnus again, it's
more
he's
informational,
boring.
right?
Like to be honest, like he's kind of boring, but like because he's just got his like set method, right? And like
it works.
It works, and like look at what he does, like it's awesome. It's just that it's not like a day in the life, you know, like it's all like teaching you. Like he just gives you good ideas. And like some of his videos have like funny parts, but like nothing in them like truly like amps me up. Like it doesn't like motivate me. It's like good to have the knowledge, good information resources.
Yeah,
but like
nutrition.
not like motivating in terms of like that. And then there's like all my nerdy stuff.
Yeah. So much.
Star Wars, Naruto, the book I constantly am listening to every time I work out. Like, seriously, like, that book alone, I could just sit there and be like, yeah, it's awesome. I need to start training.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of like music.
Yeah, it's definitely
that, like familiar.
Yeah, music doesn't.
I know.
Doesn't do
If
anything.
I had the option to be listening to music 20 hours of the day, I would.
Why?
When we first started dating, I used to sleep with music playing.
God.
And I only stopped
That sounds
when
like
we
torture.
moved in together.
That sounds like torture.
You listen to an audiobook and fall asleep.
Easily. It's so much different. I don't know. Music's weird to me.
You're just Yeah.
Music to me is like, it just like triggers emotions, right? Depending on what you're doing, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like that I don't like that.
Yeah.
Which is why I think I avoid music.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. And then there's like movies. There's like always movies. But like any martial arts movies, like, but like Southpaw.
Yeah.
That was such a
Yeah.
solid one. It just had like a really epic training montage. And Jake Gyllenhaal just jacked in it.
And it was like a good movie, like
Yeah.
good story.
Yeah.
Like it was just overall a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of who my like YouTube people would be in terms of motivation for working out specifically. And it would have to be Meg Squats
Yeah, for sure.
and Russ. 100%.
Just the power lifters, eh?
Just the power lifters.
So what's your goal?
Powerlifting.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I could have guessed Meg Squats. I wouldn't have thought of Russ, but
No?
like, I don't know. No.
He's the one I think of where I'm like, I can watch the same exercises over and over
Yeah, but
and
he's
over
like
again.
constantly just like breaking
PRing.
records.
I know.
Like just just hit another personal record with this 5,000 pound squat.
Yeah. But those are the only two that I can really think of that like pump me up. I watch other fitness people, but they don't train the way I enjoy training.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to like, see, that's why like Chris Bumstead is like,
yeah, it's like
definitely, because that's the way I like training right now. Like bodybuilding is the funnest way for me, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is all of the questions for the podcast today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. And until next time, peace.